Welcome to another King of the Ring review. This is the King of the Ring 1994 from Baltimore, Maryland. 12,000 strong in the Baltimore Arena to watch this event from June 19th, 1994. The buy rate was 185,000 buys, so decent. Not really your top 5 pay-per-view buy rate, but 1994 was kind of a down year for the WWE, so WWF back then. So that's to be decided. Art Donovan was a guest commentator, former NFL's Art Donovan, with Gorilla Monsoon and Randy Macho Man Savage as the three-man commentary team. And this is notorious. Art Donovan's notorious in this King of the Ring event for saying, "How much does this fella weigh?" in every single match, and then just being so, like, I can't stress enough how bad he was on commentary. It actually made people go and watch King of the Ring 1994 just to hear his commentary, just to make fun of it. And it's so bad that I can't do it justice. It's just terrible. He knows nothing about wrestling, you can tell. I'm surprised he didn't just ruin kayfabe altogether in the commentary. But they must have had to go over 100 things with him, and he still didn't do it right. So, anyways, let's get to the actual pay-per-view. We had the first round has 15-minute time limits. So we saw that last year at the King of the Ring 1993, a tie between Tatanka and Lex Luger. So will we see that again? We will find out. We started it out with one of the finalists last year, Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East, taking on the bad guy, Razor Ramon, in the first round. Ramon comes out to a great ovation. He's the babyface. Bam Bam's the heel. Bigelow dominated the early stages, connecting with shoulder blocks and leg drops. Bam Bam went up top to the top turnbuckle, missed a diving headbutt. Razor connected with some rights, and Razor sent Bam Bam into the corner and slid underneath the ring, dragging him by the feet, growing first into the ring post. Ouch. Bam Bam lands a high heel kick back in the ring, and Savage puts over Bigelow's amazing agility for his size. Bam Bam, in control, drives his head into the lower back of Ramon, and then Bigelow slaps on a submission backbreaker. He keeps him in the submission with his knee driving into the spine. Ramon, later in control, sets Bam Bam up in the corner, and Bigelow hit a resourceful elbow to the head of Ramon to get out of it. Bam Bam goes up top for a moonsault. As he is climbing to the top, Ramon drags him off the top rope and pins him with an inside cradle. So at the end, 8:24, Razor did what he was unable to do the previous year, and that is win the King of the Ring quarterfinal opener. Call it the first round, but it's the quarterfinals. Bam Bam Bigelow is out, and the bad guy advances. The crowd is pleased with the result. The pretty good pace to this opener. It works quite well outside the commentary, as Art Donovan's already making his "how much does this fellow weigh" apparent. 2 stars, 3/4 for the Razor and Bam Bam opener. Up next, we have match number 2. It's another quarterfinal match in the King of the Ring tournament. Erwin R. Shyster, IRS, against Mabel with Oscar at ringside. The men on a mission were Mabel and Oscar. IRS rips on the crowd for not following up on their taxes. I was too young at the time to do taxes in 1994, but I'm sure there were a lot of people cheating on their taxes. Art Donovan continues to show ignorance to both Savage and Monsoon, who are already, by this point in the show, ignoring his comments. So they're already ignoring his questions. This is the beginning of the second match. Mabel rams IRS's head into the top turnbuckle about 300 times and hits IRS with a suplex. Eventually, Erwin finds his way up from all those turnbuckle shots and drops Mabel with a clothesline and then an elbow drop. IRS goes for a scoop slam on Mabel, but he hits an inside cradle to IRS and gets a 2, did Mabel, because IRS wasn't able to lift him. IRS off the ropes, gets planted back first to the canvas by Mabel with a fallaway slam. Mabel climbs to the top rope, and IRS pulls the middle rope, taking Mabel off his balance. IRS covers Mabel, using additional leverage for the pinfall as Mabel falls off the top at 5:34. And he advances to meet Razor Ramon in the semis, does IRS. This match was kept short, so it wasn't exactly terrible, but it was still below average. So I rated it a star. 1 star for the second match. The third match, we got the Rocket, Owen Hart, taking on the Native America Tatanka. Tatanka no longer undefeated at King of the Ring 94, unlike he was at King of the Ring 93. A whole year had gone by, so he was no longer undefeated. Owen runs him over with a shoulder block and uses his quickness and agility with a leapfrog, but Tatanka took down Owen over with two beautiful arm drags, deep arm drags, a variation of a move nicely done by the Native American. Owen now found himself standing in the side headlock by Tatanka. Owen managed out with an overhead wrist lock, but Tatanka slapped it on once more. Owen elected to grab for some hair, but then nothing worked as he pushed him off the side ropes. Tatanka hit a shoulder block. Owen then managed to toss Tatanka over the top rope to the floor, but he landed on his feet as everybody cheered. Owen had no idea that Tatanka landed on his feet, catching him off guard, and it drove him to the floor. The action became good and frequent now as Owen managed to shove Tatanka into the ring post. Owen methodically taking apart Tatanka with a nice headbutt before a nice gut-wrench suplex. Owen went up top where he excels, and he connected with a beautiful missile dropkick. Tatanka kicked out, close near fall. Owen wears down the Native American some more with a reverse chinlock. Hilariously, Art Donovan goes to ask something, and Monsoon says, "I didn't hear you, sorry." Randy Savage answers that that's okay, because nobody was paying attention to him anyway. So, Gorilla Monsoon, trying to do play-by-play, says to Art Donovan, "I didn't hear you, I'm sorry." And Randy Savage goes, "It's okay." Because Randy Savage is saying to the fans, it's okay if you don't hear Art Donovan's question. That's just awesome. Tatanka catches Owen in midair as he attempted to leap behind Tatanka. The Native American dropped him with a hard power slam. Somehow Owen kicked out again, and Tatanka complained to the official that Owen came up from behind right when Tatanka was doing that and was ready to hit a sunset flip on Owen. Somehow he dropped down and cradled Tatanka in a pinning combination to get the 3 count at 8:18 to Owen. Hart advances as he used leverage to hook the legs of the Native American. This match was clearly better than the last one, the best of the night so far. Very good stuff here with only one mid-match wear-down hold. Everything else was paced perfectly in this one. So 2 stars, 3/4 for the match between Owen Hart and Tatanka, with Owen Hart moving on via the inside cradle, the inside package, small package inside cradle maneuver, which was popular on the night. It was a pretty decent contrast in the next match between Jeff Jarrett and the 1-2-3 Kid. You had Jeff Jarrett as the scientific wrestler and 1-2-3 Kid as the agile high flyer aerial specialist. Jarrett, off the opening bell, leaped to the outside as the 1-2-3 Kid attempted his kicks. Jarrett gets back in and lands a right before a hard Irish whip to the Kid to the buckle. 1-2-3 Kid rolled up Jarrett with a sunset flip from the corner, but Double J kicks out and begins kicking at the 1-2-3 Kid. Double J goes up top and attempts a superplex from the top of the 1-2-3 Kid, counters, pushing him off the top rope and then connecting with a high cross body. Double J kicks out again, as that was a close near fall as the Kid came flying off the top. The 1-2-3 Kid with a high spinning heel kick in the corner before driving Jarrett into the corner canvas. The 1-2-3 Kid attempts a high kick, but Jarrett moves out of the way. JJ signals for the end. That's Double J, Jeff, JARRETT. Goes for his, I won't do that again. Goes for his figure 4 leg lock. Jarrett takes his time, which proves to be costly as the 1-2-3 Kid countered both a small package, and you got the 3 count as the place popped. Another inside cradle finish. In the end, at 4:19, the 1-2-3 Kid got the victory, and he advanced to meet Owen in the semifinals. Jarrett, after the match, tried to injure the 1-2-3 Kid, dropping him with a pile driver, making him weaker in the future match. This matchup is very solid for the time it got. Tons of small package victories on the show, though. Or wrestlers laying down for the inside cradle and leverage advantage. I rate that match between Double J and the 1-2-3 Kid 2.5 stars. Up next, we have a break from the tournament because we now have finished the 4 quarterfinal matches. It's the final 4 men, final 2 semifinal matches remaining. So we have a WWF Championship match. Just like last year, a WWF Championship match comes up 5th on the card following the first round matches. And it's Big Daddy Cool Diesel, who just got his name Diesel at the last year's King of the Ring. He had Shawn Michaels in his corner, taking on Bret the Hitman Hart, WWF Champion, who has Jim Neidhart in his corner, his former tag team partner from the Hart Foundation. And this match is for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, as said. Kevin Nash and Bret Hart have tremendous chemistry together. They put on some classics in 1995 together at the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. Even in 1996, they had an enjoyable clash. In Your House Rage in the Cage in February of 1996. That was a classic. But before all those, there was this match, the original. Bret was the defending champion, and he'd have to put it on the line against Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Diesel knew how to work with Bret here, so he looked pretty calm, judging from his facial expressions alone. You can't judge everything from body expressions, but judging from his facial expressions, he knew he was in there with somebody safe, somebody that was going to carry the action, and that's what Bret Hart did for his opponents. And especially when they're green, like Diesel. Diesel was green, but he was getting a WWF title shot. His Royal Rumble performance in 1994 really put him on the map. So this is 5 months after that. They were already having ideas that Diesel could be champion. This match is what decided that for Vince McMahon. I have to be sure that it was, considering he had no classics to this point, and this is the only classic he had up until the point where he became WWF champion anyway. So this had to be the match where it turned Vince's attention. Vince McMahon wasn't on commentary for this event, by the way, because of the whole steroid trial at the time. So here we go. Diesel and Bret Hart for the WWF title. Diesel knew he had Bret to work here with, so again, he was calm, but the match is a great one. Michaels on the outside tried to stir up shit, just like Bret Hart thinks of him. He's just a shit stirrer. But Big Daddy Cool managed to break Bret's initial hold as he had a rear chin lock to begin. The Hitman got some damage done with the hold and went back to kicking away the legs of Diesel, sweeping him to the canvas. Bret then twisted and turned the leg of Diesel, dropping his body weight, using the ring ropes to his advantage. Excellent technique on the legs of Diesel, getting the bigger man off his vertical base, grounding the bigger man, taking away his leverage advantage. Diesel later attempted a hip lock on Bret after he bounced off the ropes, but Bret countered, holding Diesel's arms into the formation of a crucifix or a backslide, but he couldn't quite get the big man down. Bret, using his territorial advantage, kicks himself up from the corner resourcefully to flip behind Diesel, and Bret gets a small package and a near fall. He'd later win the championship using this exact same move on Diesel at Survivor Series 95, but this was just a foreshadowing of that. Bret Hart locks the sharpshooter again on Diesel. This is the second time, and Diesel kicked Bret off. Bret charged at Diesel off the ropes, connecting with a drop kick to the midsection and lands on his feet outside the ring. Diesel shoves the anvil into the ring post on the outside, venting his frustrations. Shawn from behind the officials level Bret using the belt. Diesel drops his leg on the Hitman, and he kicks out yet again. Shawn can't believe it outside the ring. He's throwing a fit since he hit Bret with the belt. He was sure that Diesel was going to be the new champion. The place comes unglued, cheering. Bret down, and Diesel signals for the end yet again. Diesel hits Bret with a jackknife, and the anvil comes in and clotheslines Diesel down. The bell rings, and that disqualifies Bret. So in the end, Bret retained the title after Diesel wins the match by disqualification at 22:51. The anvil runs off as Diesel drops Bret with a pile driver. Michaels and Diesel follow up on the WWF champion as Shawn held Bret for Diesel to inflict more punishment on him. It became apparent that the anvil had turned heel and left Bret out to dry. We didn't know for sure at this moment, but with Neidhart running away, it was becoming evident, and with him disqualifying Bret. This was a pretty amazing match. While it's not quite on par with the 1995 matches, Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble, it's arguably paced better than those two matches, which says a lot. And it says a lot about the quality. This match made Kevin Nash's career at the time, and again, set him up for a WWF Championship run that we would all wish was a lot shorter. But the match, it's a classic. I rate it 4 stars and a quarter. Next up, we had the IRS taking on the Razor Ramon in the semifinals. We're going back to the tournament here. The Final Four. It's going to be Owen Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid in the next match. IRS and Razor Ramon in this match. The winners will face off in the finals. IRS goes to work on the right leg of Razor with more kicks, as Bam Bam had injured that leg earlier in the night. A reverse elbow finds the mark by IRS, and he goes into a reverse chin lock down on the mat. Occasionally, IRS uses the bottom rope for the additional leverage. Why not? That's what's been getting everybody pinfalls tonight, the additional leverage. Razor gets back up and drops Irwin with a reverse elbow shot and additional more punches. Razor Ramon slams Irwin back first into the corner. Ramon managed to get the Razor's edge, and he put away the Taxman for good at 5:13. It was a decent match. It became apparent they wanted to put over the bad blood, so we got more of a brawl than a wrestling clinic, but it was kept short, so that's fine. A star and a quarter. Up next, sorry, I had to clear my breath there. Owen Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid in a semifinals match here. Owen Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid here. This match is forever known as one of the best short matches in history. The winner will meet Razor Ramon in the finals. And here we go. Owen hits a drop kick to the Kid before he even gets in the ring, as the lights weren't even on, because the lights were off during the entrance music, so they hadn't even turned on yet. And Owen must not have liked how Tatanka did that earlier in the night as well. So Owen has been attacked twice already, but with the lights off during his entrance theme. Owen returned the favor this time, hit his opponent, the 1-2-3 Kid, as the bell rang. Owen not only dropped Kid with a drop kick, but then he followed it up with a beautiful crossbody, diving through the middle ropes onto the 1-2-3 Kid on the floor. Owen tosses the 1-2-3 Kid back inside the ring and wants to follow up again quickly. The Rocket, Owen Hart, uses his aerial offense and hits a huge splash from the top rope. The 1-2-3 kicks out of the near fall. Art Donovan wonders how. The 1-2-3 Kid reverses an Irish whip, sending Owen Hart sternum first into the corner. The 1-2-3 Kid goes for a spinning crossbody, dropping Owen to the mat, getting a near fall. The 1-2-3 Kid with a quick grapevine crucifix and got another 2 count. I shouldn't talk quick, but I'm trying to portray how the match came off in person. It was so quick, and this match, I'm trying to review it quick because it was such a quick match, and it was so impressive how quick it was. Savage called it incredible, while Monsoon claimed that this is what the new generation was all about. Everyone in the crowd clapped. The work rate as the 1-2-3 Kid and Owen loved following up with more counter moves on one another. Owen with his 2 flips that he uses when he has the arm bar. He does that flip that he uses when he's matched with Brett, usually. The impressive flip Owen usually does. The 1-2-3 Kid scored a near fall after that as Owen reversed an Irish whip. Kid goes for a kick and hits an enziguri. Owen gets a 2 after he connects to the Kid with a high kick and a gut wrench suplex with a bridge. It sounds like a 3 count, but Owen had his foot on the bottom rope. Owen goes to the floor and the Kid flies off with a springboard moonsault. This looked like Rey Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio in 1994. Kid was the new thing in town, while Owen had already won Best High Flyer in Pro Wrestling Illustrated back in 1989. Both guys knew aerial offense was their moneymaker and displayed it quite well. Owen counters again with an amazing German suplex with a bridge. 1-2-3 Kid kicks out. Owen follows up with a vertical suplex. The Rocket flipped him over with a sunset flip. Owen rolled him back in the same way he pinned Brett at WrestleMania 10 and got a near fall out of it. 1-2-3 Kid leaped up on Owen off the top rope and he dropped him with a running powerbomb. Amazing counter. The Rocket locked on the sharpshooter and got the victory in the end at 3:37. It took me longer to talk about it than it lasted. Not quite, but almost. Owen advanced to the finals to meet the bad guy. Owen continued his impressive night. It was obviously not on par with his brother's match the year before. No, talking about Brett versus Owen from WrestleMania 10. Nothing's on that par. Almost nothing. Still extremely impressive. An amazing little match here. I consider this the best match in company history under 4 minutes. 3.5 stars for Owen Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid. In just 3.5 minutes, they get 3.5 stars. Interesting. The Head Shrinkers, Samu and Fatu with Afa, are the WWF Tag Team Champions. They took on Crush and Yokozuna with Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette. So the Head Shrinkers are the faces here. Different contrast having the Head Shrinkers the faces in 1994. Crush and Yoko. Crush had already gone to the dark side in late 1993 when he turned on Randy Savage to become a heel. Last year at this event, Crush wasn't a heel, so that's why I'm pointing that out. At the last King of the Ring, when he took on Shawn Michaels. All four men stare each other down face to face. Then a slugfest breaks out as both teams move to their respective corner. Fatu rakes the big back Yokozuna on the outside. Samu goes up high and comes down to crush in the middle of the ring. Yokozuna was rammed into the ring post, and it shook Samu off his feet. Crush goes to top, follow up with a superplex attempt to drop Samu hard in the middle of the ring. Crush drops a big leg drop, but Samu in the middle of the ring clobbers Fatu off the ring apron. Yokozuna drops Samu with a leg drop behind the official. Out comes Lex Luger to a big ovation. Luger points at Crush, who they were pushing huge at the time. This distracts Crush as the fans chant USA. He still managed to clothesline Samu to the floor. Fatu comes from behind and cradles a distracted Crush and got the win. The fans chanting USA for Luger because the head shrinkers obviously aren't USA, even though they're the faces. Monsoon points out Lex Luger, who is to Art Donovan. Art Donovan had no clue who Lex Luger was. And the finish came at 9-10. This was a solid tag match. 2.5 stars. All right, now we got 2 matches left. First, it's the King of the Ring finals. Owen Hart versus Razor Ramon. Ramon off the ropes hits Owen with a shoulder block. Owen connected with a spinning heel kick. This is the first of 3 matches of the night where Owen Hart wasn't jumped from behind with the lights off, because the lights are off during his entrance theme. But the pink neon lights are purple and pink for Owen Hart, and then they shut off, and then the lights come back on when the match starts. Well, the first 2 matches before the lights come back on, he was attacked, and this is the first match where the lights turned on and he wasn't attacked, so it's got to be different for Owen. It's the 3rd match of the night for both men. Owen connects with a European uppercut to Razor, and used leverage. That's the main name of the game tonight, so why not? Hooking Ramon in an abdominal stretch. Owen Hart in control of the match, then hit Razor with a counter move with a hip lock. Owen quick to his feet, but Razor caught him. Savage claimed that they'd both been through a war already. The Anvil runs to the ring in the climax and looked to be helping Razor Ramon out, but he drops Razor with a clothesline. The Anvil drives him into the ring post, and he is completely turned heel now. Owen drops off the top with an elbow drop, using Macho Man's finisher right in front of him to get the victory. Jim Neidhart's turned heel, and he's helped Owen Hart become the King of the Ring, which was important here as he had done what his brother had done the year before, and that is win the King of the Ring. And that was extra important to Owen Hart, who was feuding with Bret at the time. So this is a huge win for Owen. The King of Hearts did it at 6:35, and he screams, "I did it! I'm a winner! Woo!" He didn't say "I'm a winner, woo," but he screamed, "I did it." Owen followed. That's what he screamed when he won the Slammy Awards, but he still screamed, "I did it." Owen follows it up with a memorable promo as King. It's the best King of the Ring speech until 1996. Owen Hart, it's still one of the best speeches. "I now declare myself the King of Hearts." 3 stars for that main event, semi-main event. I would call it the main event. I really wish the main event of the show didn't even happen at all, and I'm pretty sure everybody involved wishes it didn't happen as well. The only thing I can logically come up with for the reason that they even had this main event is so a good guy winning would end the show, like a babyface going over would end the show, because Owen Hart was a heel winning the King of the Ring. So the main event was, what was it? It was Jerry the King Lawler against Roddy Piper. Sounds alright on paper, I guess, but it's 1994. It's not 1984, so not quite as well. Roddy Piper had his hip replacement too coming to the match, so they're very limited. I have no idea who thought this would be a good idea, though. They clearly wanted to close the show with the good guy winning, as mentioned. Jerry Lawler even admits this is not one of his finest moments in his career. Roddy Piper and Lawler slugged away at one another. Randy Savage tries to sugarcoat the match, calling it icing on the cake for one of the best nights in wrestling that he's ever seen. That's a little bit more than the truth, but Savage tries to put it over. Hot Rod takes the leg of Lawler and drops him with an inverted atomic drop and throws him out to the floor. The King was attacked by Piper on the outside as he threw him into the steel steps. Piper took his time, and it was the King's turn to dominate for a bit. King attacked Roddy Piper. King attacked a Roddy Piper fan and Piper himself with some kicks. Roddy Piper had that Roddy Piper fan follow him around, and the King attacked him. The King levels Piper with a couple of hard right hands. Lawler chokes him out on the mat. Lawler locked in a painful sleeper to the viewers as it took so long. Lawler finally hit his pile driver, but it wasn't enough. Piper kept asking for shots, and King couldn't believe it. Piper kept kicking out of everything Lawler threw at him, and then Piper hit a sloppy suplex to get the 3 count on Jerry the King Lawler at 12:30. 12:30 of Roddy Piper and Jerry Lawler slowly trying to beat each other up in 1994. Yeah, it didn't go well. This match was an embarrassment to pro wrestling. However, it looked like Steamboat and Savage when you compare it to anything the following year at King of the Ring 1995. We'll get to that if you're ready. I know I'm not going to watch it again. I already wrote my review out for it once before. I'm going to read the review. I'm not watching King of the Ring 1995 again. Could you fucking imagine me watching King of the Ring 1995 again for this review? I can't. Oh, man, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. It's a good thing I reviewed King of the Ring 95 already, or else I would go and watch it again. I might watch it again for fun. Who knows? Sometimes it's good to watch something bad. You know what I mean? Final rating for King of the Ring 1994, 6.5 out of 10. The show was pretty solid throughout most of the night. It runs into some ugly points in some encounters. The Owen Hart 1-2-3 Kid match was really good. The solid 3.5 minute classic. And, of course, Bret Hart and Diesel outside the finish with Jim Neidhart turning heel. And then helping Owen win King of the Ring. Those are the couple high spots of the night. The Lawler-Piper match brings it down about a grade or so, at least a point. So 6.5 out of 10. Otherwise, it would have been probably a 7.5 thanks to the Bret Diesel and all the other decent to good matches. So there you go. King of the Ring 1994. Please come back for King of the Ring 1995 because even though it was a bad event, I'm sure the review will be fun. All right, thanks for watching. This was a longer review than I had planned, but thanks for tuning in for this long. If you're still with me, thanks for subscribing, because you're probably a subscriber if you've made it this long. And hit like and comment in the comment section of what you thought about Art Donovan, if you remember. Anyway, I'm Brett Mix for King of the Ring 94 at the 27-minute mark, and I'm out.